Starting with Frank Miller, which was pretty solid. For me, a little outdated, though. I don't like rereading it. And, like, there's a iffy era in between that and Bendis, and then Bendis picks it up. And from then until now, it's been nothing but gold. Like,
Yeah.
with a couple small misses, but Bendis goes into Brubaker, which goes into Waid, which goes into Soule, which goes into Zdarksy. What the hell, dude? And they're all good. They're all really good.
Yeah.
So which ones are your favorites?
So my all-time favorite, which it pains me to say because I feel like it's like maybe some recency bias, but I think Zdarsky would probably take the title. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but I think he's like, it's either him or Bendis for me, and it's really hard.
Yeah, I think Bendis and Brubaker, like I think they told a story and it was groundbreaking, but when I think of something that just keeps my attention because, the action is nonstop and the story elements and the story beats, just keep you intrigued. Like Zdarsky, I don't know, like
So good.
the
And the art.
paying of homage too to just all of Daredevil, to have a story where he's in prison again, to have a story where it's him versus Punisher again, to, bring it full circle but in a less toxic way with him and Elektra. I mean, everything, and then the beast too of the Hand, to bring that full circle, paying homage to Shadowland. It was almost like a full scale payoff to all of the runs that took place before it, which is crazy.
Yeah, and even adding new stuff like seeing Kingpin get bullied by the political elite was
Yeah.
so interesting. And then, full spoiler alert, by the way, but in that one I'm thinking about, he also kills one of those elite in the bathroom of their mansion. And the drama behind all that is so crazy. And then the Chichetto art is by far the best out of any of them, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Some of them, they all have their highlights. Like Bendis, the middle of Bendis is when Daredevil takes over Kingpin's criminal empire and beats the crap out of Bullseye. I mean, that was just so badass. But then Soul, like, he really nails the lawyer side of things, mixing the action somewhere in between Bendis and Waid. Like, it kind of feels comic-y and fun, but it's still dark. The lawyer stuff is absolutely nailed. Fisk ends up becoming mayor. Muse was a great villain. So, like, they all have their own flavor. Wade's, I don't even think I'd like it because the optimistic Daredevil approach doesn't really seem like it fits. But then Omnibus 1, found it for like $50. So I was like, I'll do it. It was delightful. It was so fun.
Yeah.
The Mole Man arc sucked, I think was the only one. But the like from the beginning, amazing. And then the end, the last arc with Icarus or Akira or some kind of new villain was savage. So that was really fun.
Oh, that was on the tip of my tongue.
It's not Icarus.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm not gonna be able to pull it.
Akara, maybe. I don't know.
That sounds
Yeah.
closer.
It was badass. It was cool. So like it was optimistic. It felt more comic-y and fun, but it was still really cool.
Yeah. And I also think which Wade's run and I guess Soul's run can get a pat on the back for too, is they have like some aspects that kind of feel, I don't know, sitcom-y in some ways. Like it has like the drama, slice of life kind of aspects applied to it, which you kind of touched on with Soul's run, having to do with the courtroom drama and everything like that. And then Wade's run, dives deep into this, supporting cast and a new setting and, what that means for Daredevil. So I think it encapsulated the Matt Murdock side of Daredevil just a little bit more than some other runs, which I thought was a
100%.
breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and I felt like it weaved the story in and out of pretty much all the supporting characters really well.
Yeah.
There wasn't much boring stuff going on. Everything was interesting. Everything they were talking about was interesting. So yeah, I thought he did a great job. But Waid is he's really good at writing. So
Yeah.
shouldn't be too surprised. And
Yeah,
you
I
think
do
the
have
omnibus...
a hot take for you though, which you kind of brushed over it, was the Ann Nesenti run, which takes place after Frank Miller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I mean, yeah, and that's kind of an era of Daredevil that's whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't fans of it, but it did recently get an omnibus, so I had the chance to like revisit some of those issues, and it's a I think it's a different tone being applied to Daredevil, very similar to that of like what Mark Waid did. I think she dives way more deeper into the like superhero aspect of and the supernatural aspect of Daredevil, but it's pretty good. I think a lot of people, poo poo on it and say it's horrible just because what it's following, Frank
It's
Miller's run.
overshadowed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's overshadowed, and then to then lead into the Bendis and Brubaker stuff, it's like standing between two giants. It's impossible to
Right.
shine at that point.
Right. Um, Brubaker's whole run I thought was good, but not great. But the first arc is one of my favorite arcs ever. The Devil in Cell Block D.
Mm,
Oh man, it's so good. Coming right off of Bendis's too, a perfect follow up, and just nails it with that first arc. And the rest of it's solid. The rest of it's good, but that first arc is incredible.
yeah, and I think that they really captured the grittiness that a lot of I think probably Frank Miller was trying to do, but a lot of runs beforehand were trying to do, and then when Bendis and Brubaker came in, they just added this layer of dirt to Daredevil that like it's almost like a car crash. It's everything going on is just so
Disaster.
ugly and gritty, but you can't look away. You just got to keep
Right.
reading.
Yeah, his life is in shambles throughout these comics. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think Omnibus Volume 2 of Mark Waid's run is as good, or do you think. Yeah, I look at the Goodreads ratings and it does take a dip, but still high.
Yeah, I think it takes a dip in quality, but I think that's most cases with most runs.
Right.
That just that high octane initiation to
Right.
really any title, it's hard to follow that up typically.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, those are the best Daredevil comics. Let's get into Born Again a little bit because shoot, I had a question. Oh yeah, because speaking of Brubaker's run, the life and death of Foggy Nelson, you saw that Easter egg, right? The address on the door.
Yep.
Do you think that is just an Easter egg, or do you think Foggy Nelson is coming back? Spoiler alert, by the way, for Daredevil Born Again.
I have some uh I don't know, not so savory words to like so many people predicting Born Again because I jumped on a live stream when Daredevil first aired, and I said Foggy is not dead. I said the story is not following Born Again. It has way more to do with Charles
Zdarsky.
Soule's run and Chip Zdarsky's run.
Yeah.
And now that we're deep into the season, everybody is saying that same thing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I got so much just garbage and bad comments from people saying, no, that doesn't work, this, that, and the other. And now I feel like it's the common theory. But yes, I do think Foggy Nelson's coming back 100%.
I didn't catch flack, man. Ever since Mayor Fisk was announced in Echo, I was like, oh, I mean, we're obviously following Soule and Zdarsky, at
Yeah.
least a little bit, or at least a lot, to be honest. Like, at least a lot. So, yeah, I didn't catch flack, though, luckily.
Yeah, I got flack, and then the when I was asking why, because they're like, it's Born Again, it's following Frank Miller, and I'm like, well, they already kind of did Frank
Did
Miller's
that.
storyline, and they're like, well, did you watch the intro? The intro shows Daredevil breaking down and then coming back to a solid statue. That's paying homage to his run, and I'm like, okay,
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah,
Of course, some influences, of course, from Born Again are still going to be in there a little bit. It's not just getting. It's not going to be titled Born Again, and it's just going to be absent of all influence from that comic.
right, yeah. But I would say it has the least amount of inspiration from the
Those
Born
three
Again storyline.
from Zdarsky
Definitely
and
Soule
Soul.
and Zdarsky.
Yeah, like 85% those two runs.
Yeah, 100%.
95 maybe. Anyway, yeah. So are you liking Born Again though?
I am. I think there was. which I can't remember what episode it. Oh, the bank episode. Um, I liked it. I thought it was interesting, but I did find myself at the end asking why did that episode take place? I was kind of confused by it. It really didn't have tons to do with Kingpin or the story that's being told, but I don't know. That was the only one where I was kind of scratching my head a little bit, but everything else I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I really actually liked that bank one. It felt comic-y. It felt like a single issue, which is common. And after I just read Waid, it felt like kind of a Waid issue.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Matt's character in there, and I thought it also felt like MCU, like classic MCU with a cameo. Seeing someone from a different property come in there. I never saw Miss Marvel, but I thought her dad was a delight. Like I really liked the character, and I thought it was fun. I knew it was her dad, even though I didn't see it. So I was into it. Not only did it feel like classic MCU and just like kind of a good single comic issue, but it also felt like classic, just superhero movies like Spider-Man. Bank scene, same thing. Aunt asks for a loan, villain attacks, Spider-Man saves the day. That's what this episode was. So it just felt classic to me and comic-y. So I was cool that it didn't push the story forward much. A little bit though with the gangsters there, whoever was running the show, just a little bit, but I liked it.
Yeah, and that
Eh,
ending, whew, when he
remind me.
when he snapped his leg in the
Oh
alleyway,
yeah, crazy.
that was tough. Yeah,
All right. I can't wait to see where it goes. How did you think they handled Muse before we get on to Doomsday?
I think it, which I think this is the common consensus, but I feel like his character's lacking a little bit. I think as far as like substance and stuff, um, I think they should have either did Muse or did just Kingpin. I feel like Muse kind of feels like a side quest, and I feel like the character, especially being an original Daredevil character, kind of deserved his own arc, his own storyline. And I think the aspect of what Muse is and, painting with blood and him just being a modern day serial killer, I think could have been used in a much mysterious and heavy handed way to tell a full on story. And it right now it just feels like back matter to the Kingpin and Daredevil story that we all want to keep watching.
So I totally agree with you for the character itself. That's my gripe with him as a whole in the comics. Like he's a great character,
Yeah.
a lot to explore there. You could do so much great storytelling with that concept of painting with blood. And in the comics, couldn't Daredevil not see the? It's like he used a substance that Daredevil couldn't even see, so he was painting. It's like one of the only things Daredevil couldn't sense, or something like that.
I'm pretty sure the only way he was able to sense was just like the blood. I think where they differentiated is in the comics. I think Daredevil discovers that there's blood in it.
Okay.
In the show, it's the waste management guy. I'm
Yeah.
That's what I think I remember, but yeah, I don't know. There should have been more to him.
I agree in the comics, but I don't fault the show because in the comics, again, got killed super quick.
Yeah.
He was done. And by the time Soule's run ended, he also died. So the show's just doing what the comics did. No backstory, no nothing. He's here, he's cool, he's fun, he's exciting. Now he's dead.
Yeah.
So I don't fault the show, but I fault the creators of Marvel in general. Explore this character more. He's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I feel like the exploration they did with White Tiger, like I feel like we should have at least got something to that level. Like even if it's not a full season or, full multiple episode storyline, like at least give us just more, just oomph to that character and why he's the way he is and
Yeah.
why he can do what he can do and everything like that.
More to connect to.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that wraps up Daredevil and comics. Let's just wrap up the episode as a whole with your thoughts on Doomsday. So